every time I look at this, I find something else wrong. Congratulations, wizards. I mean, if that was your point, you accomplished it. Haven't even gotten to the elf one yet. We're all focused on the Hispanic orcs, and this art yet that we've kind of been ignoring all the other ones. We looked at this art again last night when I was on Talk Hard with Pops and Ironcaster, and for some reason we went from talking about Shin Kamen Rider to this piece of art, and we were looking at it again, and I found yet even more things wrong with it. All right, so let's just ignore the whole tattoo of each other's beard thing. Okay, fine, whatever. Let's just ignore the fact that there's a bakery in here also, and he's making cookies. I don't know where this other oven is. We don't see it in the picture. Okay, fine, whatever. Today, or last night, while I was looking at it, I just found two more things. Now, first, I've already mentioned several times oven mitts, oven mitts, oven mitts. Not wearing anything. The Asian dwarf isn't wearing anything, but this dwarf's wearing oven mitts. Now, oven mitts and blacksmithing mitts are completely different. If you tried to stick an oven mitt in a forge that's hot enough to melt metal, that oven mitt would go up in flames in seconds. So we've already mentioned the other oven mitts. But let's move on to even more things I've discovered in this picture that are just so wrong. Let's ignore the dwarf here that's got the needle. I guess this is maybe a gnome. Or let's ignore that Aragorn and Gladriel are drinking a cup of coffee in front of this dwarf who's shooting up. Open-toed sandals and a cat. Open-toed sandals and a cat near open flames. That cat's dead because you know that cat's jumping in there. This motherfucker's wearing open-toed sandals near open flame. Okay, that one, fine. All right, and then even further, right next to the open, this one I saw again last night, right next to the open flame is this little case right here filled with, wait for it, paper. That's a book. OSHA would never approve of this. It is a fire hazard. You can't have the oven this close to the window. These people are not working with the proper protection. This guy's not even paying attention. He's like, oh. Everybody's talking about the grooming and the gay and blah, 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 blah. That's not, it's boring. It doesn't show D&D action. There's nothing D&D about this. I have no trouble with a bunch of multicultural homeless dwarves who have nothing else to do, getting together and deciding to go into business together and opening up a forge in a major city. Sounds perfectly D&D Freeport to me, okay? I have no problem with male and female dwarves working together to accomplish their goal. Sounds perfectly fine to me. Let's make some money off these stupid humans, okay? I have no problem with the dwarves saying, hey, let's open a bakery. You know, we already know about ovens and shit and how to bake and cook and stuff. And, you know, we're probably pretty good at making food that lasts a really long time. You know, a bakery would be an easy way to make money and probably less dangerous than a forge. No problem with that either. Having a forge and the bakery together, that's a stretch, but sure, we've already got the oven going. Okay, fine. We could do that. It could work if you had enough space, excess heat from the forge going to power the oven to make the baked goods. Putting them together like this, nah, that wouldn't work. That cat's dead. This motherfucker's wearing oven mitts and open-toed sandals. Next to this. This is next to paper and an open window. This is an ocean disaster waiting to happen. Now, people are saying it's AI. It's not AI. if somebody drew this, great. I mean, the quality of the picture, spot on. I wish I could draw half this good. That said, if this was supposed to make me think D&D, it doesn't. It makes me think a city guide. This would be something you would find inside the city guide to Freeport, Waterdeep, whatever. Okay, sure, whatever. Apparently somebody found stock photos and posted them next to these and realized that the stock photos in these pictures are, shot for shot exactly the same. So apparently all the artist did was find stock photos and then change them to fit the scene, which is just fine. Whatever. There's nothing new about that. Using a stock photo, how is that different than looking at a nude model and drawing the nude model, or looking at a whatever? That's the least thing wrong with it. And the forcing the message. As an LGBTQT who's been open about my LGBTQT things now for like however long I've been doing this with you guys, do I have problems with them forcing the false narrative? Yes, but then so do most of the LGBTQT people I've spoken to. Gay dwarves? Sure, why not? Whatever. I don't care what they do behind closed doors. It's not part of D&D. But the big crime, as far as I'm concerned, in every one of these pictures is the people who are drawing them made them boring. And the people who are drawing them don't know anything about the topic. If you're going to draw a bunch of dwarves in a open forge blacksmith, at least do the basic bare minimal necessities to look at a free video on YouTube about how to blacksmith. There's literally hundreds of videos of the blacksmith over at Knoxberry Farm. There's hundreds of videos about blacksmithing. There was an entire TV show called Forged in Fire, which was basically about guys making swords. All you had to do was watch 5 seconds of that and go, oh, that's how they dress. Oh, that motherfucker's not wearing open-toed shoes. Oh, there's no live animals in here. Oh, I can't use that hot fire to cook food on. It's too hot. I know I'm being silly, but I had to do some silliness before we got to the next serious topic, because everybody's talking about the letter that Rob Kuntz wrote and what Wizards of the Coast is doing. We got to talk about that now. Bitch, I've been talking about that since 2015. You're all catching up with me. I don't ever get any credit. Did I get any credit for being the first person to break the 2027 thing? No. This is not approved by OSHA. RPG Grandma. Yeah, no. Maybe Goblin. No, I don't even think Goblins would go, that's too close to paper. Or the Goblins would say it's not close enough to the paper. The Gromerless. I guess he's trying to look, it's trying to look kind of like jolly and happy. Oh, Bear Arms! Bear Arms! Open flame! Over dwarves. Dwarves don't have any innate resistance to fire. You have innate resistance to disease. Gromerless. Derp, derp, derp. He just looks sort of like derpy. Like I'm just happy to be here. Derp, derp, derp. Modern things into quasi-fantasy medieval steampunk world. I have no problem with a bakery. I have no problem with a forge. I have no problem with dwarves deciding to open a forge in a town or a bakery in a town, or even finding a way to make the two of them together. That sounds like a very dwarfish thing to do. How can we make as much money as possible for as little amount of work off these stupid humans? That soy boy dwarf, I don't know. I mean, yeah, he's got Birkenstocks. He's wearing a man bun. He's definitely a stereotype. Where are the racks of lamb and tankards and arm wrestling matches? You could have an arm wrestling match on the anvil. You could cook the rack of lamb in the oven next to the bread, and the tankards of ale could be over there next to Aragorn and Gladriel as they're drinking their coffee with the dwarf who's shooting up drugs. Can we just, mention the fact that the dwarf is shooting up drugs? Forged in Fire was the most D&D show on TV until Delicious and Dungeons started. I can't believe it didn't get more like, oh my God, this is the most D&D thing ever. Yeah, watch a video. Look at a thing. It's not hard. Did the Dwarf Baker win a contest somewhere in Planescape? Is that how he got the money to open the place? Maybe. I mean, a Planescape baking contest? That sounds like something that you would see as a random thing on the Planescape table. The most ridiculous, you have to accomplish baking this in this amount of time to keep Our Lady of Pain entertained. By the way, the list of the ingredients is ridiculous. And you have to go to like 87 different places to get them, all under an hour. And if you don't, the Lady of Pain completely eliminates you and your entire family line. That sounds like an awesome plot. Hail and well met fishers. I don't see any towels in there, but considering how wrong this is, there's probably are towels, and for some reason they're not on fire. If you're referring to the fact that it's fantasy, medieval, that ended a long time ago. I mean, I don't think it's been medieval accurate since, no, not even. I mean, if you even go back to the very, 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 very first shit that Gary and Dave made, there's robots and computers mentioned. It's never been medieval accurate. If it was medieval accurate, they'd all be dead. Dysentery. Oh, now, what is the minimum wage in Freeport / Waterdeep / Sigil? Do these guys get made? Is there a universal minimum wage in Greyhawk Land? Or is it based upon, how much they can bilk the human customers out, Oh, yeah, this is a quality dwarven craftsmanship here that my great-great-great-grandfather started in, and I finished just now, and it's 300 gold pieces. And, the human's like, 300 gold pieces? That's a steal. And the dwarf's like, bitch, it cost me like 20 to make this. Idiots. If there was a story behind this picture that said, this unbelievable multi-dimensional baking contest that some ultra powerful entity like Our Lady of Pain was doing to, alleviate her boredom, and she decides that all these motherfuckers have to bake her a cake, and then she comes up with like an Iron Chef list of materials that the cake have to be made out of. It's like, and they're like just ridiculous. Like, you got to go to the plane. Hell, I got a 15 ingredient recipe for a cake. You each have to make me. Those ingredients are scattered across the multiverse. I want it in an hour. And if you don't accomplish it, I kill you and your entire family line. My pronouns are whatever and sandwich. Anyways, again, there's no ifs, ands, or reasons for this other than to say you should check out my video that I did last night on Talk Hard, because it was so nice to talk about something that wasn't D&D for an hour and just talk about a movie. I felt like, hey, this is what I earned my degree in. Something I can finally talk about with some level of expertise. Movies. But I looked at the picture again, and there's just so much wrong with it. And I thought, you know what? Before we dive into another level of ugliness, let's just get as goofy as we can, have a moment of silliness, and make fun of how ridiculous this picture is. But yeah, it's boring. I mean, scrape away everything else, every other layer of stupid. It's boring. It doesn't evoke D&D. I mean, now you can say blah, blah, blah art, blah, blah, blah quality, blah, blah, blah progression. But fuck, what's the most D&D shit cartoons we can think of when we think D&D? Those little black and white drawings in the Dungeon Master's Guide. The picture of the guy holding the +3 back scratcher, or the guys wearing the Mickey Mouse ears trying to sneak in on the were-rats. Why not that? More of that. Instead, we have, and remember, there's 75 more of these. 75 more of these that we haven't seen. We've seen 6 now, if you count the Hillary Clinton paladin drinking white Zinfandel. We've seen 6 of the 76 new full-page pieces of art so far. And already we're like, I'm beyond offended. These are just stupid. They're boring. They're not evocative. They don't scream D&D, and they're just dumb. They're just dumb. I mean, do some 5 seconds research. If you want to force an agenda down our throats, at least do the homework to force the agenda down our throats. Anyways, that's it. Check out me talking with Pops and Ironcaster and Loki on Talk Hard, where we talk about Shin Kamen Rider. I don't talk about movies enough on this channel. Maybe I need to. Maybe when I take my August break from Wizards of the Coast. Anyways, like, share, surprise. Have a great day. I'm trying to avoid talking about the letter for as long as I can, but I know sooner or later we're going to have to talk about it. Maybe when I get back from the doctor. See you next time. I appreciate each and every one of you, especially RPG Grandma and Dice Tales and Popper Knight and Dungeon Minister. Yeah, my dude. Where's my donuts, Dungeon Minister? Yeah, love each and every one of you. Appreciate each and every one of you. Thanks for stopping by. Have a great day. Stay safe. I will talk to you after I get back from the doctors.
Yo, check. Yeah, we're not the type to play games. You can stake claims. Came to show the movement moving like a freight train, breaking walls and crumble earth with every step we take. We walking by with lash and your neck will break. Never let it stray, so say it wrong or set it straight. So coming at us with an awkward demeanor is leaving your life in the dead of face. So pedal straight, avoid these shots, we send it all costs. Truly believing that it'll be different, we watching your body get hauled off. Simple as this, we giving the vibe of the rebel.